Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I want to just share an experience with you guys that I had today. So I went to the mall. I took my son just to go do a little shopping. I met one of my sisters there, and I noticed that there was like a group of kids there. There was a group of, I think there was about 6 black teenage boys, and there was one girl with them that was white. They're probably maybe between 13 and 16. So I saw them earlier, and it kind of, I kind of thought, oh, I hope, because I know how these disgusting white supremacists are, and I was like, they're going to see a group of black kids and they're going to harass them. But no one was harassing them at the moment, and I actually kind of spoke to them in a C's candy store, just kind of joked with them about something. I don't know. I always, if I see black kids, I always notice them, and especially if they're not with their parents, because when you have a group of black children or teens, they're usually targets of white supremacist terrorism. So if they're not with their parents, I usually will notice them, just so they know that someone's there that may have their back, or that looks like them, or anything like that. So we went on with our shopping, and I think it was maybe like 45 minutes later, my sister Cynthia met us at the mall, and right when she got there, I saw the group of boys, and I saw about 4 security guards yelling at them. So to me, that's unacceptable. You don't, never is that acceptable for me. And I think that us as adults, as black people, if you see that some children are being attacked, or even any kind of chastised by some adults, especially if these are Caucasians, then you need to kind of step in and kind of see what's going on. So that's, I usually do that. I always think of it as, if that was my nephew or my brother or even my own child, I would want someone to step in and have their back, because none of these white supremacist terrorists are going to have their back. They're not looking out for their best interests. So I walked over there, and I asked, the children, I didn't say anything to these disgusting white supremacists. I asked the kids, are you guys okay? Do you guys need help? And they proceeded to say, yeah, these cops are these security guards are harassing us. And so I have some of it on recording, because I did take out my phone, because I didn't notice that one of the security guards had his phone out, putting it in one of the minor's face, recording them. So I was like, okay, if you can record, if you have an opportunity, any situation, and you have a form of recording the incident, then by all means do so. Always, always, always. So I took out my phone, and unfortunately it did cut out in part of it, and but I'm gonna try to just show you guys kind of what was going on, and you'll be able to get kind of an inkling of what these white supremacist terrorists were doing. So I'm gonna play this. So it's just, so this is, we walked up, and this guy right here, he was recording them when I first walked up there, and then he put it away as soon as we started talking. He put his phone away, and they were like surrounding the kids. They were like around them, yelling at them, and then when we came in, they kind of backed off. They knew that they were not making the right choices, and plus they were being recorded. And so here's a little bit of what happened. But if they're not willing to provide you with a reason as to why they're kicking you out, then you need to file harassment. So that's Cynthia G talking to the kids, and I'm recording, and I'm also asking the security, you know, what do you want, that, you know, what's going on, and are you asking these kids to leave? Because there's no point of you just sitting there surrounding some kids yelling at them. What is the end goal? What are you trying to get achieved?
Also, they're on their way because we don't need this.
No, we don't need this. And the reason why I'm really upset, and what I said to him is because I actually, when I first walked up, I wanted to get, you know, a gauge of what's going on. And so there was a couple there with a kid in a stroller, and the white man was looking angry at, you know, wondering why we were having these kids' backs. And I'm like, okay, so what happened? And he says, oh, those kids were, you know, playing around and they accidentally fell on my kid's stroller. And then I started to yell, and then he kind of backed out of it and said, and I was talking to him, asking him, and I said, okay, so you just said that they accidentally fell on your kid's stroller. It was not on purpose. And then he's like, well, you know, how would you feel if they fell on your kid? And I'm like, I would understand that, because I actually have my niece with me. She's 1, and she was in a stroller, and my son was with me. And I said, I would talk to the kids. I would understand that it was an accident, because you just said, I'm like, you just said out of your own mouth that this was not purposeful. These kids accidentally fell on your stroller. Your daughter's and your kid's not hurt. And no, the kid's not hurt. But he's like angry. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, it was an accident. And if I would say, you know, they said they're sorry. They said it was an accident, and I would understand that. I wouldn't go call security on some kids for accidentally falling. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. And that's why you have to realize all of these white supremacist terrorists, they don't care if the kids made a mistake. They only care that these kids have brown skin. I have never once walked into a mall or store and saw security harassing a group of white kids. I have not seen that. Not yet. In my entire life, I haven't seen it. But always when there's black kids, you know they're going to get harassed, and you know they're going to get followed. And another thing that I want to say that I didn't say before I play that part, I'm going to play the rest of the video, but I need you guys to understand, because it looks like a bunch of chaos right now, but there was more. When we came up, they were yelling at these kids, and the kids were intimidated. You know, they have these white supremacist terrorists in their face. They don't know what their rights are, what the rules are, what the laws are. They just know they're being interrogated and yelled at and bullied. The little short white cop that you saw earlier, let me go back to that. That little bulldog right there. So before this, she came up and I'm asking her, you know, when I was talking to the complaining couple about them falling, and I'm like, no, you know, it was an accident. And I was like, telling the other security, because the security are just talking. They're not shutting up. This guy wasn't talking right here. He's just standing there looking like a demon. But you don't see, what you can't see is they're in front of the kids. So the kids are kind of at their backs to a different store, so they can't actually leave. They're kind of surrounded. So there's this guy, and then there's another old guy on a Segway. There's about 4 or 5 of them, so it doesn't seem like that much right here. But this disgusting white supremacist terrorist right here, she comes up, and I'm like, why you're harassing a group of black kids because they're brown? That's why you're harassing them, no other thing. And she goes, my kid is black. And I'm like, no. I was like, if your kid came out of a white uterus, then that kid is white. And she's like, he's adopted. And I say, you know what, I'm sorry for him. I feel sorry for him. And then she got her little nasty, that's when she got this, she already had a nasty attitude, but then she got this little nasty attitude. And she noticed that she could no longer bully these children. Okay, I'm gonna play the rest.
Because we don't need this.
No, we don't need this.
Let the police know.
You can't do anything. I already got you. You see how they're surrounded? These kids are surrounded. There's security here, and then on the other side too. And these are young kids. These kids are maybe 13, 14.
If you're being rude and say you have to shut up, and then you try to say that back, then why can't you say? What are they straight my hair?
You were just filming the minors, so that's interesting. It's interesting because when we walked over here, you were filming the minors. You were filming the minors.
Yeah, so.
So now you have a problem that I'm filming you.
I get you some way to straight my hair. Not allowed to. Yeah, you're all in here.
See how
This is how racism works. This is because we are trying to teach you how racism, white supremacy works. So, I'm just gonna get out of this because I might go back to them. But so, if you heard the crying in the background, my son was crying because he was scared because these disgusting white supremacist terrorists were walking around, and they're saying, oh, I'm going to call the cops. But at no point are they telling these kids to leave. So I'm asking them, I'm saying, I'm going to get out of this share screen. So I'm asked, I after that, my recording cut out because I didn't have any more time, but I did get to record some more stuff, but it was on my sister's phone. But so right after that, the little bulldog walked away, and she comes right back. She leaves, she comes back. She leaves, she says more crap, and then she comes back. But so right after that, there's still about 5 security standing around. They're still just yelling, blah, blah, blah. No, nothing's getting done. And she's going to call, when she said she was going to call the cops. That's what she said. Still, they did not tell these children to leave. They're still not telling them anything they did, did they need to stay here? Do they need to leave? They didn't do anything, so they can't really make them stay there. But he kept saying, I asked, I said, do you want them to leave? Are you telling them to leave? What's going on? And he says in this disgusting, slow, patronizing, and I really wanted to slap him. He's like, we reserve the right to ask anyone And I'm like, I'm just going like this, okay, like, to leave. I know what he's saying. I know you reserve the right to ask anyone to leave. It's private property, blah, blah, blah. That's what he's saying. Are you asking them to leave? And he's like, he's still just, I want to show you guys which one I'm talking about, because I'm talking to one cop, but so it seemed like this guy, the little short nasty blonde chick, was the security supervisor. This guy's the one like interrogating the kids, right? And then,
but if they're not willing to provide you with a reason as to why they're kicking you out, then you need to.
I don't know why I'm skipping now, but Cynthia's telling these kids, we're asking, are you kicking them out? And if so, why? We're asking them to give these kids a reason. Why are you kicking them out of the mall? Because yes, this is private property. Yes, you have reserved the right to kick anyone out, but you do not reserve the right to harass these children because they are Black. You do not have that privilege. So she's asking them. Then this guy just stands there. But let me show you this other. So then that's when she says she's calling the cops, right? So, and if you notice, this guy, that guy back there with the orange on, this guy is also calling the cops on these kids. I don't know what they're saying, but so two people are already calling the police on the kids, and yet they still have not told these kids to leave the property. They still have not told these kids, this is what you did, so you are trespassed, you need to leave. But they're calling the police to say these kids are trespassing. That's what they're doing. And so I'm asking them, and it's not on this one because it's not yet, but I'm asking them because I need them to clearly tell me if they are trespassing these kids off the premises. Before someone calls the cops, they need to tell you, you need to leave. So I ask again, are you asking them to leave? And then finally, that little old, nasty, disgusting piece of garbage, that white supremacist terrorist, finally said, yeah, okay. So get this. I said, the kids were, you see how they're just talking, blah, blah, blah. I said, stop talking. They were very much listening. I said, leave now. You need to leave. Now they told you to leave. Now get off of the property now so that you are not trespassing. The kids go to leave. I have a stroller with my niece in it, and my son's right there, and my sister's there. That disgusting troll, the little white troll with the blonde hair, scurries after the kids. So I'm like, hold this, and I tell my sister Cynthia to watch my son, and I run after her. Because why is she chasing after these kids? I'm like, why is she chasing? Why is she now following them to torment them? She runs outside. I grab Cynthia's phone. I run after her. And when I get out there, I'm like, why are you chasing? Like, why are you chasing them? They're doing the right thing. She runs outside and she goes, oh, why are you guys leaving? You're such cowards. You guys are such cowards. You don't want to wait for the cops. Why are you baiting these kids? I asked her. I'm like, why are you baiting these kids? They're doing the right thing. And they stopped and turned around to debate her more. No. And I said, no, leave. We will meet you off the property. So then they keep going. And I'm like, you're a disgusting piece of garbage. You're sitting there trying to bait some children to stay on the property. They're already making the right choice. They're doing the right thing. They're leaving the property like they're told. And she goes and baits them. Now you have to imagine and put yourself in a 13 or 14, 15-year-old. You're going to stop and try to listen. She's running after you. So it's like, oh, am I not supposed to leave? Or something else. there is no reason for her to run after those kids. She saw that they were making the right choice to leave, and she went to bait and torment and taunt them so that they would stay on the property long enough for her to have these white supremacist cops come and possibly kill them. We know what's going on with cops nowadays. But she wants to throw out, I have a black child. She's lucky that there was laws put in place to stop me from doing something to her. Because if that were my child, I don't even want to say. But it's this kind of stuff. And I see stuff like this happen, and I see other Black people just standing around. Do not stand around while these white supremacist terrorists attack our children. These are our children. I don't care if they're not my kids. I don't care if they're not my family. They're our kids. And we cannot stand by idly while they terrorize our children. If you see a group of kids being terrorized by some white supremacists, I don't care if they're cops, I don't care if they're security, these kids need some sensible adults to stand up and say what's going on. Let's sort this out. If you have that opportunity, it is your job to do that. As a Black person, it is your job to stand up and say what's going on. Let me jump in and make some sense out of this situation. Because a 13, 14, 15-year-old does not have the mindset to deal with these grown white supremacist terrorists that are put in authoritarian positions, and she wants to go chase after and bait some children into a confrontation. And make no mistake about it, this is not the end. This is not the end of this. We did meet the kids, and we did talk to the kids and get their numbers, and to find out that every time they come up to this mall, these security guards are following them and harassing them and threatening them. This is why I call them terrorists. This is why I say we need to put an end to this white supremacist terrorism. These kids should be able to go to the store, to the mall, and walk around and get their bubble teas just like the white kids. Because you know what? I went back to this mall about an hour later because I wanted to get my bubble tea. I didn't get to get my bubble tea. I didn't get to do any shopping because I had to deal with this stressful situation. So I went back there, and guess what? I saw a group of white kids enjoying their shopping experience, not being harassed by these white supremacist security guards. We have to take a stand in every opportunity that we get. Every time you see, I saw these disgusting white supremacists. I was at a Safeway. It was a couple months back, and it was like summertime, and I overheard these this customer come into the Safeway, this white dude, and he talks about, oh, there's a Black guy in outside harassing people. Now I'm just overhearing this, and there was a Black dude outside. He was not harassing anyone. He was very friendly. He talked to people, but very, very nicely, very polite, was not harassing anyone. So I do my shopping, and I come back out, and I follow the two white managers, because I saw her ask the other lady, oh, come outside with me. So I saw them walk outside and go harass him, while this is just this Black man. He's probably 30s or 40s, and he has like a maybe a cigar paper where he cut it open and he poured the tobacco on the ground. And I have my son with me, and they're yelling at him, oh, you need to get off the premises, you're littering. I came over there, so I was like, excuse me, you do not get to come over here and harass this man, you disgusting white supremacist pieces of garbage. I didn't call them pieces of garbage because my kid was there, and so I really try to keep things simmered. But I was like, you don't get to harass him. All he's doing is sitting down. I said, I was out here when I was like, he was polite. He is not harassing anyone, and you're gonna come out here, and they come out there with acting like they just have all the authority in the world on their high horses. He's still being polite and nice to them, and I'm like, you guys are harassing him. You don't get to harass him because he's black. Because he's black on Saturday. Like, that's it. As long as if you're black, they think they get to harass you. And she's like, well, he's littering. And I said, excuse me, tobacco is a natural product of it's biodegradable, so he cannot possibly be littering. And then she's like, oh, there's a piece of plastic. Okay, so pick it up then. It's your job. That's your job. You can pick it up. And it's like, we have to do that. Whenever you see someone harassing a black person, they're harassing you. That's, to me, they're harassing me. They're harassing my brother, my sister, anyone. They need to not get away with any of it. They need to know that we will stick together, that we will have each other's back. And please, if it's a child, please, there's no reason for you to not intervene. If those kids don't have a parent or a lawyer there, then they need to have any other black civilian to step in and say, hey, hold on, let's see what's going on here. Because for adults to be harassing some teenagers, these kids were not violent, they were not cussing, they were not doing anything that a normal, regular teenager would not do. And yet they have to be harassed constantly every time they come to this mall. This is not okay. And I wish I could show you guys the rest of what happened, but anyways, I don't have the video. But that disgusting little short white supremacist broad, she's gonna lose her job, because we're gonna make sure that this does not continue to happen to these kids. This is not okay. We cannot let them continue to attack our children. We need to put a stop to it. Anyways, thank you for watching my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video. Please, if you guys see white supremacist terrorists harassing our children, please say something. Even just ask the kids if they need you, if they need, your assistance. The teenagers don't have the mindset to deal with calculating, disgusting white supremacist terrorists. They don't know what the laws are. They don't know what their rights are. And they need us to help them, and we need to do that. So I will keep you guys up on any other thing that comes up in regarding this situation. Please share this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you.